This is Iris Kavanaugh, and I wanted to jump in today to talk about connection from a different perspective. And I wanted to talk about the idea that all co-working spaces need to be these hustle bustle communities. And I should say first off that my home space, which is where I'm recording this right now, is one of those vibrant, well-known communities and well-known for the connections that people have with each other, but also well-known for being a really busy space. In the early days, we kind of joked that, you couldn't get a lot of work done here because people were so social. And we definitely have a lot of productivity that happens as well, but we also have just a lot of shenanigans that go on. We get work done, we get play done, we get fun done, and we're a really dynamic community. We spend a lot of time on the outside of the space, the outside of the work week, hanging out with each other, and we've got a lot of extroverts in our community. And that's wonderful, and I love it, and I am somebody who works with clients and really, works with people to get their communities connected, and I love that hustle bustle environment and that really that feeling of the kind of busy and exciting vibe that I feel in my co-working space. And I love it when I go to other co-working spaces and I can sense that as well. And I think that in the co-working world, because as a movement, our job is connecting people, I think that there's a standard that's been set out there. And I've had questions from clients recently, and in the past, I actually get this question kind of frequently, which is, why don't my members act like that more? How do I get my members to be busier or more connected with each other or more vibrant or more engaged with each other? How do I get that feeling? And I want to just really hold space for the quiet spaces today. There's no one way to do a co-working space. There's so many different permeations that come out of this movement and this way of working. And I think it's important that we don't measure ourselves up against an impossibility. So the reason that I am bringing this up is that some people open a co-working space, and as solo operators or as just a couple people in the space, they might start to feel a lot of pressure from those of us in the co-working world who are saying, you gotta, get your members really active with each other, and so on and so forth. And all the blogs that are out there about how amazing these, really well-known communities are across the world. And the thing is just like in other aspects of life, the extroverts get all the attention, right? The extroverts are the ones who really get that sense that they're successful. Their communities are the successful communities because they have that vibe of everybody collaborating with each other in this really busy and almost noisy way. But that's not everybody's space. And by everybody's space, I'm talking about the members. Some people don't want a space like that. And so if you're an operator who is somebody who tends to be more on the quiet side, maybe you're more of an introvert. You love people and you really wanted to open a space to be around people and around community, but you just keep measuring yourself up against the next spaces, the NB halls, the Cahoots, these places that are famous across the world for their connectedness. You might be measuring yourself up against the wrong measure. And so what I want to offer you today is you open that space because you are called to it. You're running that space, you're opening yourself up in a way, you're being 100% there for your members and 100% yourself for your members. And if you look around you and what you see is members that are showing up regularly, maybe they show up every day, maybe they show up 3 days a week, but they're coming, they're saying hello to you in the morning, they're getting their work done, and they identify as a member of your space. That's a good thing. If your people feel a sense of connection to you, and you can see that there are different kinds of connections happening within the community, that's a good thing. So think about yourself and what your energy level is. Do you really have the energy to put on the mask of an extrovert and come up with all these fun events and things that are going to really draw in a bunch of extroverts that, you know, are people that you might get exhausted by? I mean, you know, I'm not saying like it's a negative thing to have a bunch of extroverts in your space if you're an introvert, but I just really want to hold space for people who are still building true connection, still coming at co-working with the passion of bringing humans together. But you also have a quiet way about you. Your way you walk in the world is much more introspected or quieter. You don't have as much to say as, say, somebody like me does. Your space is meeting the needs of your members. And so roll with that, feel good about that, and own your success in creating a place where your members feel comfortable, where they feel at home, where they feel safe and supported by you and by each other. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. That's what this is about, is a place of belonging and a sense of belonging. So I challenge you, quiet people, to really appreciate the spaces that you're creating for your members and to appreciate yourself. And I challenge all of us in the extroverted world to appreciate the quiet people and the quiet spaces and to learn how to serve those needs as well. I used to tell my team, and I do when I work with different community managers that I'm training, I let them know your job is to be the community manager for everyone in your community, meaning every type of person, and not just the really easy extroverts, the really easy engaged people to communicate or relate to, but to be the community manager for everyone. So that means sometimes you got to change the way you communicate or change your communication style or your understanding of how to work with different types of people. And I think we in the co-working world, as consultants and just as thought leaders, we also need to change the sort of output that we're putting out, that there's only maybe one or two ways of doing this correctly to create real authentic community. So if you have a thought on this, I would love to hear you give a comment below and just let me know what you think. Let me know if this resonates with you, or if you totally disagree with me, let me know that too. I'd love to hear it. And subscribe to my channel so you can get more updates, and let me know what other kind of content you'd like to see coming out of this channel and the work that I'm doing to share as much knowledge as I have, as well as my passion around co-working. Thanks for watching.